Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
2 years since the disappearance of a 4-year-old on the Northwest Side. Now renewed effort to find her is growing. Bigger equipment now being brought in, continuing to dig in a wooded area, hoping to find what happened to little Lena Keel.
This after a tip earlier this week pointed San Antonio police to that area behind an apartment complex near Blumell Road in Gardendale. That's where we find Sarah Acosta live now. Sarah, you just spoke with a family representative.
That's right, Dylan. Lena's father is here with a translator, surrounded by friends and family as they wait on pins and needles for any more information. They were just told by investigators that an excavator was needed for more digging, which is happening right behind me right now. SAPD just put up their drone. Now, earlier we did speak with the family representative, Pamela Allen, who says police told the family that an excavator has been brought in to continue digging because the ground-penetrating radar device they used earlier this morning signaled that there is reason to dig more. Allen says that investigators remained vague about what they might have found, just that they believe something has been found that requires more digging. Allen also told us that police told the family that the tip to search this area did come from someone who was incarcerated. Again, none of this information has been confirmed from SAPD to us. Now, many people in the community have been following Lena Keel's disappearance case closely for more than 2 years. She was 3 at the time when she was last seen on the playground of her family's apartment complex back in December of 2021. That complex is about a mile away from the area that police are searching now. Allen told us the family is frustrated by the lack of communication and transparency with police, especially after the family had a meeting with investigators a day before this tip came in.
I guess just knots in their stomach. All of us are just, and it's frustrating because they were just shaking their heads yesterday like, we just had a meeting with them regarding this, and now there's a credible tip.
Investigators have been out here since Thursday with shovels, dogs, and earlier this morning a piece of equipment called a ground-penetrating radar that uses radar to image the ground. Again, it hasn't been confirmed that what they are looking for is the body of Lena Keel, just that there is strong evidence here linked to her case. And Lena's birthday is coming up this next week, February 20th. So this Tuesday, she would be 6 years old. Stay with us on air and online, and we'll bring you the latest if we get any new information on this search. Live from the Northwest Side, I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. New this noon, a man accused of killing his sister's boyfriend found guilty, and right now he's waiting to see what comes next for his life. His fate is in the hands of a jury.
That same jury took all day yesterday to convict Isaiah Acosta of killing Alvin McShaw. That murder happened back in September of 2022. Police say that when they arrived to Acosta's apartment that night, they found Shaw shot in the head, and he died the next day. Again, the punishment phase in this trial is taking place right now. Acosta faces between 5 and 99 years in prison. We've gone from cloudy to drizzly in some spots, but look at that. There's actually a little bit of sun out there, Justin.
Yeah, the sun's trying to peek through. We've got some blue skies. There's still going to be a lot of clouds around for the rest of today, but the sun is going to be there at times, and that's going to be enough to get temperatures up into the 70s, I think, later today. We had some rain this morning. It was really light here in San Antonio. Now we're starting to see that move east in places like Cuero and Kennedy, still picking up some rain. They got some good totals there. We just did not see it here in San Antonio. And we'll see a pretty quiet afternoon in the forecast. Now, we do have a cold front headed our way. We can see it here on the state temperature map. 50 in Wichita Falls, 48 right now in Abilene. That's the cold air. It'll be here by tonight. It'll sweep through, bring a few showers with it, but tomorrow will be very different. I'll caution you there. We're going to get some gusty winds, and it will feel much colder. Here's the timing on that cold front. We think it'll be here between 8 and 10 o'clock. When it does arrive, know that winds will start to pick up out of the north, gusting to 35 miles per hour tonight and into tomorrow morning. The cool down, we'll see wind chills in the 30s by tomorrow morning. So it will be jacket weather. It'll feel a little more like winter on Saturday. Rain with this front, the odds are low. It'll be brief, only about a 20% chance to see any showers. We're going to talk more about that weekend forecast and a big warm up coming our way next week. Plus, we'll look at rainfall totals as well coming up here in just a couple minutes.
That's right. We have another round of closures taking place on the far northwest side, but this is a little bit different than what we've seen over the past month or so when it comes to that full closure there taking place there at 1604 and I-10. This closure is going to be a little bit different. So let's check out our maps here. Basically, we're going to have 2 of 4 clover leafs that are going to be completely shut down this weekend. They're going to be the clover leafs that connect 1604, the westbound main lanes, to I-10 in both directions. So again, 1604 westbound, the connection to I-10 in both directions. Those 2 clover leafs that I'm looking at right here will be shut down this weekend. So good news is that the eastbound lanes of 1604, that should remain open throughout the entire weekend. Again, these closures are going to run through Monday 5 a.m., but it is going to be a full weekend closure. So we have some drone video to show you real quick of some of this, these closures that we've taken over the past couple weeks or so. What you're looking at here are some of these beams that are put in for some of the flyover ramps, and you do see some of those clover leafs right there in the middle of your screen. Again, this closure will be taking place starting late Friday night and running through Monday 5 a.m. If we could come back out here real quick with the maps, and we see some of our detours here. Again, Vance Jackson all the way up to the rim and then all the way to La Cantera Parkway. Same situation if you're on I-10, you're going to have to exit here, go all the way to La Cantera Parkway and come back closer to UTSA Boulevard. Stay safe out on the roads this weekend. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks, RJ. Governor Greg Abbott once again at the border. He's going to be in Eagle Pass today, giving an update on his efforts to stem the tide of migrants crossing the border illegally. This time, he'll be joined by the head of the Texas Military Department, Major General Thomas Schulzer, and the Texas Border Czar, Mike Banks. This conference set to begin at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We have a crew there. We're going to bring you more information on air and online.
Also happening today, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is coming to San Antonio for a meet and greet with voters. This is part of her 2-day fundraising swing through Texas. She's also stopping in Dallas and Houston. Haley will be at Viva Villa at the historic Market Square at 1:30 this afternoon. The event is free. However, attendees must register prior to the event to get a ticket. A link to tickets is on our website, KSAT.com.
Another San Antonio area school district going to a 4-day school week. Bandera ISD trustees are approving this change in the district's 2024-2025 calendar earlier this week. The students and teachers will now have Friday off, with the exception of some teacher work days. Bandera is one of several school districts in Texas to make this change. Lavernia switched to a 4-day school week this year.
A boil water notice is still in place for those who live in Elmendorf. The city's public water system saying it's because of a main break. Water should be boiled for 2 minutes before using or consuming. We'll let you know when the notice is no longer in effect.
Community members on the northwest side split over the idea of a new county park in their neighborhood, but their public discussion on the subject is going to have to wait for another day. The meeting with the county commissioner, Rebecca Clay Flores, was set for last night. That meeting now postponed. The proposed park would use approximately 50 acres off of Talley Road and Medio Drive. The neighbors have created opposing petitions with more than 600 signatures so far. While some say the area does need a new community park, others say it doesn't have to happen in this specific neighborhood.
I have 2 children, and there's many residents here in the area with children. I think that could benefit from a park.
We do not want the homeless. We do not want the crime that is going to go along with having a walking trail.
The county postponed the input meeting for the community indefinitely to wait until a study is completed, but they are accepting feedback. We have more in-depth information on our website with the links you need on KSAT.com. Spurs shooting guard Wesley Blake has a big event coming up, the honor he is set to receive at his former high school.
And it's rodeo season. Big crowds are heading out to the grounds each day. One of the major draws is the food. How crews work to make sure the rodeo cuisine is safe. Welcome back. Every day, thousands of people visit the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, and there is a team ensuring food on the grounds is safe for visitors.
Tiffany Huerta is following Metro Health as they inspect some of this year's rodeo food.
We might want to make sure people are washing their hands, that the food is at the proper temperatures, both hot and cold.
Every day, Metro Health food inspectors visit the different booths at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. One inspector comes in the morning and the other in the afternoon.
We look for evidence of any insects or rodents, which in this case we've not had any.
Curzel Ramos, Senior Environmental Health Officer for Metro Health, says they will also check if all the equipment is working properly.
We also haven't checked the coolers or the refrigerator units to make sure that they're operating. Occasionally what happens, a unit may go out overnight, and we want to make sure that the food in that unit is still good to be served.
When the health inspectors are here at the rodeo, they're looking for detail. Tell me about canned foods.
One of the things that we look for is for cans that may have a dent. If the can has a dent on the rim or the seam of the can, it cannot be used. Now, if it happens to have one on the side, as long as it doesn't form any kind of edge or corner to it, they're able to use it.
Metro Health says so far this year, no issues have been found. There are 80 food booths, including
Fajita Corral. We basically just raise it's 100% goes to scholarships. We just raise money for scholarships.
Deborah Jaime says they have been participating in the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo for 9 years.
We have to be ready for the inspectors at all times, so we have to have our sanitizers out, and if it's not up to date, then they let us know. We go back and we fix it. But it's a daily routine.
She welcomes the Metro Health team.
We anticipate that they come out all the time and hold us accountable if we need to be held accountable.
Although the rodeo isn't finished, Metro Health is already preparing for future events and meeting with vendors participating in Fiesta. Reporting from the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
We're going to take a look outside again with live cam. Ooh, even more clouds are gone. This might actually turn out to be a nice day, Dylan.
Beautiful weather so far, great flying weather.
Yeah.
Makes me want to jump out there.
Hey, it's looking that way. I mean, the blue skies are starting to really show up here. We had some rain earlier. A lot of that rain is starting to shift down to our south and east, and it was light, but we did see some wet roads for the morning commute. The aquifer still down today, though, 0.3 per foot to 644.3. In your pollen count, tree pollen starting to kick up now. Mulberry and ash are both moderate. We're heading into that season. Molds are low at 300. When is our next chance of rain, and what can you expect with a cold front tonight? We'll take a look at the weekend forecast coming up.
Our daily question of the day. I am guessing it has something to do with Lent. The first one.
You know that we should have done that, Ursula. But no, next time. Yes,
Okay.
but still
Look at
food,
this.
right? Food. We're talking food.
Look at this yummy meatloaf. We're going to tell you where you can get this, and it's not exactly like maybe Mom used to make. There's a couple of secret ingredients in here as well, something that we all know and love. But that question is, what's that dish that Mom made that you'd always ask for? What is it?
Beef stroganoff for me.
Ooh, that's a
Ooh,
good
I love
one.
that.
My kids love that. That's the one that my kids would answer. All right. For me, I'm going to have to say red beans and rice.
Okay.
Oh,
That was on Monday. Yeah.
that's good. What about you?
Well, I hated Mexican food growing up because my mom always made it, but her rice, oh my gosh, now I love it. I love it, yes.
My mom's pot roast was always just,
God, making me hungry.
Well,
Yes.
I know. Let us know. Scan that QR code there, and I'll tell you what. I believe it or not, I took a little nibble of this. It's
course, they
really
believe it.
good, and we'll tell you where to find that. Yeah, that's coming up.
All right, guys. Thank you. Meatloaf in my family, it's a 50-50 split. My husband hates it. My kids love it.
So how often do you make it?
Never.
Okay.
Because I can't please them all. I only aim to please. How about you, Justin?
My mom made some killer beef tenderloin. It was rare occasion when she would make, but it was so good, so good.
That's why he's so tall.
Yeah.
He ate a lot of beef tenderloin.
Perhaps so, man. Right around lunchtime, we're talking food. That's rough. Anyway, we got to talk about rainfall totals too. We had some rain overnight into this morning. The observed rainfall, well, we didn't get any at the airport. Not exactly what we were hoping for. But Sutherland Springs, about 1/4 of an inch. Elmendorf, you picked up a little over 1/10 of an inch. You can see kind of where the line was right there. Northwest side of town saw nothing. And you go south and east, and you did pick up some decent rainfall. Floresville, 0.38. And even bigger numbers, you get down towards Kennedy and Witsit and Goliad, 0.22 there, 0.36 in Victoria. So these were decent numbers. It just not necessarily good for us here in San Antonio or for those in the hill country. The rain's still coming down in places like Cuero, some light rain in Howitzville, Edna, Victoria, but that's all moving east pretty quickly, and this is starting to fall apart. And as you saw there on some of the pictures, we've got some blue skies starting to show up here in San Antonio. So we'll certainly get a break this afternoon from the rain. Now, the next event we've got going on is cold front. Makes it here by about 8 o'clock tonight. With it, there could be a couple of showers, but I don't think the impacts are going to be really any big deal. You're probably not going to notice it when it comes to the rain. Now, the one change you will notice are the gusty winds. Those will kick in significantly behind the front, and you'll start to see those gusts 30 to 35 by tomorrow morning. So it turns windy and much colder. And then by midday tomorrow, we're still in the clouds. That'll keep temperatures down, and then the winds will subside as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So here's the forecast for today. 3 o'clock, 69, 70 at 4 o'clock. And then look for mid-60s by 6 p.m. We start to bring rain chances up just a little bit tonight with that cold front coming through. And then it just turns cloudy and windy at that point. Wind gusts as high as 30 to 35, as I said. I'd say 4 a.m. to kind of 7 a.m. That's the window where I think winds will be peaking. So it's right at sunrise tomorrow. If you've got outdoor plans, morning soccer matches, whatever you got going on outdoors, know that it will be blustery and cold. Temperatures will be in the 40s, so this is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, 41, but it feels like 33. This blue number here is the wind chill, and it will be in the 30s all the way through lunch tomorrow. So jacket weather for sure on your Saturday. If you're heading out to the rodeo, take a jacket. You'll want it most of the day. Then skies clear Saturday night. We get down to 32, light freeze here in San Antonio, and then back up to 58 on Sunday. So Sunday is definitely the better of the 2 days over the weekend, sunny and nice. As we look outside, there are some of those blue skies we were talking about, 65, dew points at 58. And seeing a breezy wind as it stands right now out of the southwest, gusting to 21. And you can kind of see what we're looking at here. There's a nice hole in the clouds for now, but we've got more high clouds that'll fill in, and I think we'll probably get some more low clouds filling in too. So still fairly cloudy today, but nice to see the sun from time to time. 68 in New Braunfels, 65 in San Antonio, 69 in Del Rio, 65 down in Cotulla. We got mid-60s for the most part here in Bragg County. We get up to 70 today, though. Today is a warm day. Tomorrow, obviously much different behind that front. So here it is in the extended forecast. We go 51 tomorrow, about a 20-degree drop with that front. 58 Sunday, as we showed you. 68 for President's Day. And then by next week, it's almost spring-like. 77 Tuesday. We'll be up near 80 by Thursday, guys.
Thank you, Justin. New at 5 today. If you filled up your car lately, you probably already noticed it. There is a jump at the pump. We got the reason behind the increase and a look at how much higher this could go as spring break gets here. Today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight.
The San Antonio Spurs finally made it to All-Star Weekend for a much-needed break from the regular season and their rodeo road trip. Unfortunately, the Spurs aren't going into the break on a winning note after falling to the Dallas Mavericks. Larry Ramirez was there for all the action, and he caught up with Blake Wesley right after the game.
Well, Blake, you all started off really well tonight. What happened? Where did that game turn?
Turned in the third quarter. I mean, we play sloppy in the third quarter always. We try to fix it sometimes, but it happens. I mean, come out sloppy, we're going to play sloppy, but we're going to keep getting better. We're going to scratch it and have an all-star break and then get ready for Sacramento. So,
is it frustrating when a shot goes down, but then it comes out? Because you had a lot, not you in particular, but as a team, you guys had a lot of shots go down and they came back out. Is that frustrating?
It's frustrating, but you got to keep shooting. I mean, like Pop said, just keep shooting. It went in and out. I think we went 10 for 40 from 3. We don't usually shoot like that, but like I said, we got to get back in the gym and on to the next game.
So you have a big event coming up on Friday at your high school. Tell me about that.
I'm getting my jersey retired at Riley High School back in South Bend. So I'm excited for that, and I'm blessed, and I'm thankful for that. So
you're going to have family and friends there, I take it?
Oh yeah, I'm going to have family and friends. A couple of Spurs people coming, so I'm going to have a blast. So I'm excited.
It's not every day that you get a jersey retired at any level. So when you really think about it, man, how cool is that?
It's really cool. I mean, it's going to hit me when they actually do it, when I actually get there. So especially in my hometown, it's going to be a lot of people there. I'm excited, and yeah, I'm blessed. So
you think you might shed some tears of joy?
I might shed some tears. I know my mom gonna shed some tears, so I think I am too. So
cool, man. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, back to you.
Always awesome to go home and see a hometown hero. Okay, in just over a month, the San Antonio Sports All-Star High School basketball game is going to take to the court. There's a lot of talent on Team Gold. Take a look, the best of the best out of SAISD, including Brackenridge, Burbank, Highlands, Sam Houston, Lanier, all of them represented. It's an honor to make the team, and it brings forth a lot of emotion in these youngsters.
Recently, honestly, this year, when I finally reached my 1,000 points, because I would just play just to play, and now that I felt like I reached a goal that I set for myself freshman year, I felt like, okay, I'm doing something, so I just stick to it. I didn't have no reaction because I feel like I knew I was going to be in it because I did my job through the whole season.
It means a lot to me. Not a lot of my family play basketball, so I'm just good. I'm just happy to be one of them that do play and are just doing good.
Exciting, I'm proud. Like, we're one of the first and play with the best of the best.
Being able to represent Burbank is really a huge honor. This has been the best year of basketball that I have experienced there at Burbank. Being able to participate in this all-star game is a big opportunity for me, and I'm very proud of my team.
Unseen hours of work and just believing in yourself and having people around you that just believe in you and love you, and that's really all it is.
All right. If you'd like some more information on the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game, just visit KSAT.com.
A money-saving travel hack could help you cross more destinations off your bucket list without breaking the bank. We'll explain how to make it happen in the next half hour.
Let's look outside one more time because, yeah, it looks like today's going to turn out to be a pretty good day.
And Justin, we're on the way to needing a jacket, though, to be out in that weather.
You're
correct?
exactly right. Not today, but as we get into tomorrow, definitely. So there'll be a big change overnight. We get a cold front coming through, and it's not going to be bitter cold tomorrow, but with temperatures in the 40s and gusty winds, it will feel pretty chilly, especially compared to today. Let me show you the big picture here. We've got a lot of rain along the Texas coast. This was the rain we were hoping would move through San Antonio. We just didn't see much of it. It all stayed off to our south and east. So still pretty wet down there in places like Rockport and Corpus Christi, but we're starting to see some breaks in the clouds, and that's going to allow temperatures to get into the 70s today. Is there a little closer look at some of the rain? It really is starting to scoot east at this point and away from us. A little closer look here at the cloud cover. Yeah, we do still have some high clouds coming through, but we're starting to see those breaks. So with sun, yeah, it should be a fairly warm day. Temperatures up around 70 by 4 o'clock. And then falling back down into the 60s tonight, 63 at 7 p.m., 63 at 8 p.m. We do bring up the rain chances slightly around 8 to 9 because a weak front, well, not a weak, a front comes through. The chances of rain are low in 20%. This front will pack a punch in the sense that it'll give us some gusty winds, and it will be, as I said, much colder on your Saturday. We'll take another look at that forecast coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Guys?
Thank you, Justin. A verdict is expected today in former President Donald Trump's New York civil fraud trial. Trump could be on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars in penalties and other sanctions. He's accused of inflating his wealth on financial statements that were given to banks, insurers, and others to make deals and to secure loans. Trump denies doing anything wrong. His lawyers have said they'll appeal if the judge rules against him.
The district attorney who has made it the job to prosecute former President Donald Trump for alleged election interference will not be making a return appearance on the witness stand. This comes a day after a heated day in court where Fani Willis's romantic relationship with the top prosecutor could result in both of their removals from the case. When she took the stand yesterday in the hearing to determine if her relationship was inappropriate, she was clearly angered. She pushed back on the idea that she benefited from trips and other activities with Nathan Wade, the lawyer she hired to lead the election interference case. One of the 19 defendants in that case is asking the judge to determine if Willis had a conflict of interest in hiring him, the man that she was romantically involved with, and if so, have her removed from the prosecution. Willis told the court that she paid Wade the money back for all those trips they took together, but has no record of it because it was all in cash.
And so when you got cash to pay him back on these trips, would you go to the ATM?
No, lady.
So the cash that you would pay him, you wouldn't get it out of the bank?
I have money in my house. Probably the most money I've ever handed him is $2,500. The least amount of money I've handed him, probably between $500 and $1,000.
You never wrote him a check?
Ma'am, I don't have checks.
I'm asking if you have any proof that you paid him any of these
The
monies.
proof is what I just told you.
She said she regularly keeps large amounts of cash at her home. The judge is not expected to immediately make a decision. If he decides to remove Willis, the state could appoint a new prosecutor who could then decide whether to move forward in this case.
A former FBI informant is charged with lying about President Joe Biden and his son Hunter's involvement in business dealings with the Burisma Holdings Company. Alexander Smirnoff is also charged with creating false records. The indictment comes from special counsel Davis Weiss. The charging document alleges the story told by the 43-year-old Smirnoff to federal investigators was, quote, a fabrication, end quote. Investigators also claim that Smirnoff had his dates wrong about when those meetings occurred. Some congressional Republicans made Smirnoff's now discredited allegations a centerpiece of their impeachment push against the president.
Alexei Navalny, who staged a massive anti-Kremlin protest, was Russian President Vladimir Putin's fiercest opponent, has now died. Russian media reporting he died at Arctic penal colony where he was serving a 19-year sentence. The country's prison service says that he felt unwell after a walk on Friday and, quote, almost immediately, unquote, lost consciousness. This comes less than a month before an election that would have put Putin another 6 years in power. Today, President Biden blamed Putin for the death. He went on to say that he was outraged but not surprised. Kansas City still recovering after a mass shooting turned a Super Bowl celebration into chaos. 2 juveniles now facing gun-related and resisting arrest charges, all in connection with this shooting. 1 person died, 22 people were hurt. Police Chief Stacey Graves says half of those hurt were under the age of 16. The mother of 2 was also killed. Altogether, 3 juveniles are in custody. However, they released 1 of them because they determined they were not involved. Investigators are asking witnesses and victims to please call a dedicated hotline.
A congressional committee has issued unprecedented subpoenas to Harvard University. The House Education and Workforce Committee is telling the Ivy League school to turn over documents as it investigates anti-Semitism on campus. This is the first time the committee has ever issued a subpoena since the panel was founded in 1867. Republican Chairwoman Virginia Fox says she hopes it serves as a wake-up call to Harvard that Congress won't tolerate anti-Semitism. Harvard has already turned over some of the documents, but Fox says they contain, quote, omissions and questionable redactions, end quote. The university says the subpoenas were unwarranted, but it is committed to cooperating with the committee. And if you plan on taking a trip this year, there might be a way to get more for your money. Why making changes to your itinerary could allow you to visit more cities for the same price as a one-way ticket.
Improvements coming to San Antonio International Airport. We're going to take a look at the changes you might notice in the future after the break.
Welcome back. A boost for San Antonio International Airport. This comes after the airport received $30 million worth of grants from the FAA.
Here's where all that money's going, though. The airport says $18 million is going to be set aside for a brand new terminal. That is scheduled to open in 2028. $12 million will pay for electrical upgrades in Terminal A.
And it's not the only upgrade coming to the airport. It already broke ground on a new ground loading facility that will allow passengers to board and exit a plane from the tarmac. It's considered a cheaper way of getting people on and off of planes.
And speaking of cost-effective options, spring break's getting closer and a lot of folks are going to be looking for ways to stretch their travel budgets.
So what if you could hit 2 destinations for the price of 1? ABC's Gio Benitez explains.
With spring break and summer vacation trips on the horizon, you may want to consider adding a stopover flight to your itinerary. Get this, you're planning a trip to beautiful Santorini. Why not visit Paris along the way at no extra charge? It's possible through booking what's called a stopover ticket. Carrie Elizabeth took advantage of it on a trip last year.
When we were going to book our flights for Europe, we saw that it was possible to stay in the cities that we had a connection through. And of course, we wanted to take advantage of that because who doesn't want to go to an extra city for free?
Carrie booked through Flying Blue. That's the loyalty program for airlines like Air France and KLM to get that extra leg in Paris. Many carriers like TAP, Iceland Air, Emirates, and Hawaiian Airlines offer stopovers on their flights, allowing customers to visit more cities at the same price as booking a one-way ticket.
The art of stopovers with airline tickets can basically allow you to squeeze more value out of your flights, whether you're paying for them or using your frequent flyer miles.
So here's how you do it. You go to the carrier's website, and when you put in your desired departure and arrival cities, search for a tab that says Add a Stopover. The stopover will usually be in the hub city of the airline you're planning to fly.
Iceland Air is known for this for no extra fee. So you can split up your flying. You can stop in Reykjavik, which is one of my favorite destinations, explore Iceland for a couple days, and then continue on to your final destination. So you basically get two destinations for the price of one.
For Carrie Elizabeth, she was able to book her stopover flights with credit card points, saving her around $2,700.
Paris has been a dream of mine to visit since I was a kid. The flights would have cost us around $3,000, and it only cost us 28,000 American Express points plus the taxes, which was $300.
That was Gio Benitez reporting with some important information for those of us booking trips for the summer.
I wonder if anyone at the airport right now is doing that stopover thing on the way.
Yeah, stopping over in San Antonio for
You know what? It's not a bad destination. Honestly, it's beautiful, and we've had some beautiful weather today. Not so bad. We had a little bit of rain this morning, yes, but the sun's trying to pop out now. It feels pretty good outside. 65 so far, 60 the low this morning. Records are 87 and 12, set back in 1927. And yes, 2021. You remember that stretch? It was still really cold at this point back in 2021. Weekend, it's going to be kind of a tale of 2 days. We'll explain and talk about when things warm up quite a bit after the break.
Big congratulations to 3 area high school students who were selected for a prestigious leadership program that'll take place next week. It's at the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado.
From left to right, we have Maya Galvan from Piper High School, Storm Pena from Davenport High School, and Sophia Krumholtz from Johnson High School. They were selected among 10 total students from across the country to participate in this 5-day intensive experience.
Oh, you can read more about a huge achievement for some locals. It's at KSAT.com. But again, we want to congratulate Maya, Storm, and Sophia. Way to represent.
Colorado Springs, Colorado,
Yeah.
correct? Air Force Academy?
Oh, yeah, it's
what
a
an
big
experience
deal.
that'll be.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go over to hopefully where we get a little bit of rain over the night, maybe.
There's a small chance. I think rain's kind of it's kind of moving out of the picture a little bit. We're going to talk more about the gusty winds that are going to come with a cold front that arrives tonight. Yeah, we did get a little bit of rain today, and there is a small chance with this front as it moves through tonight, but the window is just so very small. You can see where the front is right now. Starting to move through Midland, it's through Abilene, on the doorstep of Dallas-Fort Worth. It's 36 in Amarillo, 44 in Lubbock. So some cold air. It is February after all. We're going to have to deal with a little bit of this as it moves in tonight. It won't be just bitter cold tomorrow, but it'll be noticeably different because I think we make it into the 70s today, and tomorrow we're going to struggle to get out of the 40s. Here's the timing. I think the cold front makes it here between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Really, it'll be through the area by midnight. Wind chills will be in the 30s Saturday morning, so that's what we got to watch for with gusts 30 to 35 out of the north. And yes, there is that small rain chance as the front moves through, just 20%. Here's a look at the futurecast wind gusts, and this is midnight. We're gusting to 30 already at this point. And then by tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., you've got gusts 30 to 35. This is the corridor, this is the time frame where I think we're going to see the strongest winds. And it's right around sunrise tomorrow. And then the winds will stay fairly elevated through about midday, and then they'll start to come down by the afternoon. And that's when we start to lose some clouds too. So Saturday afternoon may not be too bad, but it will still be a little chilly. Look at the wind chills tomorrow morning. As you walk out the door Saturday, it'll be 34. That's what it'll feel like. 25 in Fair Oaks Ranch, 27 in New Braunfels, 28 in Seguin. So yeah, it's going to feel like winter tomorrow morning, at least for a little while. Not right now, though. We've got the sun shining down on the airport now. Temperature is 65, 68 in New Braunfels, 66 in Seguin, close to 70 in Kerrville with a southwesterly wind, which, as you know, always warms us up. So as long as we've got that going today, a lot of places will be near 70. You see the clouds? Hey, they are trying to fill back in a little bit, some of these high clouds. So it's not going to be sunny by any stretch of the imagination, but some peaks of sun here and there. 68 in Austin, 73 in Junction. That's one of the warm spots. And 61 right now with still some light rain in Victoria, mostly mid-60s here around the city. So our forecast today, 67 at 2 o'clock, 69 3 p.m. We're up around 70 at 4 o'clock and then dip back down into the 60s tonight. Now that front, again, gets here, I'd say between 8 and 10 o'clock. And then you see the pretty sharp temperature drop off once that happens. So 58 at 11 o'clock, and by midnight, we're down into the low 50s with that northerly wind really starting to kick up. The extended forecast will go 51 tomorrow. That's it, mostly cloudy. Then by late in the evening, clouds start to clear out. That'll allow for very cold temperatures Sunday morning down to 32. So light freeze here in town. And then we rebound it nicely with dry air and sunny skies on Sunday up to 58. A lot of kiddos have President's Day off. 68, sunny, looks great after a cold morning. And then next week looks downright warm. 77 Tuesday, close to 80 on Wednesday and Thursday before another front comes through and cools us down yet again for next weekend.
This Rodeo Remembers, powered by your San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
The cowboy hat. Where did this thing come from? In the 1850s, a young John B. Stetson left New Jersey and headed west. He came from a family of hat makers, and when he noticed the sombreros worn by the Mexican vaquero, it inspired him. Eventually, he created the Boss of the Plains, the first modern cowboy hat. So where did the vaqueros get their hat design? In colonial Mexico, the Spanish brought in expert African cattle herders. They were called the Fulani. They wore hats and used ropes to herd their cattle. And that could very well be where it all got started.
Headed to the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo? We want to see your best getup. Don't forget to upload your pics to KSAT Connect. Find it on the KSAT app or KSAT.com. Snap, share, and you could make it on air. This Best of Mutton Busted, powered by your San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
It just makes you giggle. You can't help yourself.
What's a good time in mutton busting?
I think it's a timed event, so I think they have to stay on for like 8 seconds.
So just like bucking
Bull
Broncos,
Run.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
I missed that when I was a kid.
They're so cute, too. Yes. All right. We have got something that's really kind of yummy around here. Ooh, is it just like Mom used to make, though?
Right, exactly. That's the question. We have St. Martha here with St. Martha's Foods, Martha Siegelson, and she is making meatloaf, but you have a really good hack for us.
I do. If you want some breadcrumbs, 1 English muffin is about a cup of breadcrumbs. So that's my little kitchen hack.
I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Not exactly what you think in there, and there's a couple of surprises in there as well, which again raises the question then.
Yes, we want to know what was the thing that your mom made that was your favorite, right? What for you?
Oh, pot roast.
Pot roast, okay.
Yeah. All right. You can never get your sweets until after you had dinner. So we're going to have dinner, and then we're going to have sweets. And we have got Maria Rivera from the San Antonio Sweets and Sugar Festival. What are these?
These are called Jolly Rancher grapes, guys. They're a very popular trend on Facebook and Instagram.
Ooh, that looks really good.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly what you think on there as well. So.
Yes, it's a little loud here.
Yeah.
We got some people out there.
Yeah, we've got the Nikki Haley campaign out here, so
That's
it's a
what
little
you're hearing, yes.
hard to hear. Rodeo fashions, rodeo's going on right now, and we have got a traveling boutique. You can order online or get them at the rodeo.
And can't forget about the rodeo food. It's always over the top and delicious. So I think you guys got to try something.
You guys think of corn dogs? Well, I took a bite of this corn dog, and oh my goodness, there was a whole lot more going on. Cheese for miles.
Yes, I saw some of that. Yes. Hope you're hungry. That and much more coming up on SA Live.